Hi, you guys. Ginger Cook here, and it's Acrylic Painting Monday.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! This is one of our premieres, and the reason this is a perfect painting for premieres required a lot of drawing, and the premiere would have gone on for hours if we had done this live, because it never would have, kind of the never-ending painting that didn't dry. So I think that you're going to find that there's a lot to learn in a painting like this, but there was one major mistake I made in this that I'm going to tell you that when you're watching this tutorial, the first thing I did was use a color called luminous yellow for my poppies. And that was a huge mistake, but I'm not. Watch the video to find out why, because wow, who would have thought? So I think you're going to find that that's something you might want to look for in this video. I think we've got a lot of nice depth in this painting. California coastal poppies is something you would see in the coast of California. Like I say, John and I are traveling. We're somewhere in Iceland, I think, right?
Yeah.
And
so bouncing around up in the
we're here
top.
to join you. If the internet isn't good, then
Enjoy the show.
you enjoy the show. Thanks, moderators, for coming, and thanks in advance for all this love and support you show us through sharing the videos, liking them, subscribing, and donating to our scholarship fund to help other artists paint. So thank you, and watch. Hope you have fun painting our California poppies, and wait till you see what happened.
And again, this is one, do not paint along. Watch it first, because you'll be upset with us. Okay, here we go. On to the show.
Okay, so we're starting off with a 12 by 12 canvas, and I don't have an underpainting on it because I want these orange flowers to be really bright, and I'm going to start with a white canvas where they're going to be, where I'm going to put those. And we've got a straight line here. That's your horizon line for the ocean. And I'm going to want a little tape to tape that so that I don't lose that, okay? And so we're going to just sort of take this step by step. I think you're going to find this easy, really, honestly. Here's the where the ocean kind of comes. And we've got the ocean in, there's like a dark blue spot, dark blue, and a little bit right up in here like that. And then there's always a dark line right here on the horizon. There's always this little dark line, and then it gets lighter, and then it gets kind of in a turquoise in this area. Then we have the beach, and then we're going to have our flowers and our trees. So like any landscape, we're just going to start from the back and start with the sky. I'm just going to go ahead and take the tape, and I'm going to go ahead and tape my ocean, where my sky and my ocean meet. And that's, make sure that's straight. Use a T-square if you need to. Take a palette knife and just burnish that down. Now, word of caution, when you create a line using tape, you'll have a ridge on your canvas, and that's almost impossible to get rid of. So you better want it, okay? Once you have, you almost really have to sand it to get rid of that. Now, the colors we're using are the same ones we always use, but for those of you who are not sure, we're going to be using phthalo green, dazzling purple, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue. We're going to use cad red medium, cadmium orange. And then I've got a color, one of my Holbein luminescent colors, which is a luminescent, it's called luminescent yellow, which is really almost an orange for the poppies. We're going to want that color, which isn't in my chart. But if you don't have a set of the luminous colors from Holbein, you can get a box of, like, I think 5, and they're worth having. You'll find you use them, particularly if you're a person that paints flowers, you'll find use them more than you think. We've got yellow oxide, marigold. Probably will have cad yellow medium. I just didn't put it out yet. And magenta. So those are the colors, and white. All right, so those are the colors we're going to use. This is going to, it's pretty straightforward. I want to use a big brush because I want to cover this. This is probably bigger than what I want to use, so I don't want to use that one. Let's see. I'm going to do the Goldilocks thing here. We'll use one of these large angle brushes. This is a 3/4 inch silver Bristol on. And I'm going to wet it. And then once I wet it, I'm going to wipe it off on a towel. And then I'm going to start with white. And I'm going to come up here like this and just paint the sky white. I'm doing this because there's no
Underpainting?
paint on there. There's no underpainting here, you guys. So I want to make sure that I have a
So basically, we're putting it on.
something on here, okay? Like that, all right? Now, that's great. And I think there. Now, as we paint this, I can take a tiny bit of phthalo blue, like 1%. That's ultramarine. Let's try phthalo. Okay. So I want hardly any phthalo blue. I'm going to take a touch of phthalo green with that. And white. Let's just bring it up here. Let's just mix it. There you go. So this is the color I want. Phthalo blue, a touch of phthalo green. And I want this sort of light sky coming down here like that. Now I've already got wet white here, so this is going to be sort of, the sky won't be real dark. All right, just going to be, won't be too dark, but that's fine. Then I'll put a little bit of white on my brush and come on down here and just mix the, so it's lighter on the horizon. I'm going to say that there's a, we'll just suggest that maybe there's some clouds here. Take a little bit of white here and we're just going to suggest clouds. You could dry this if you wanted to, but I just want to, you know how in the ocean there's always these sort of swirly clouds like that. Okay. Nothing too dramatic, just that, okay? And then okay, I'm going to come here like that, like there you go. Now, I'm going to just take the tape off. See what a nice straight line I have there with the sky? Now, if you're not sure, you can then dry it and then go ahead and tape it on the other side to make sure that you stay level. So it's gonna get a rag here. So I'm going to wipe the brush off. I'm not going to rinse it. And then I'm going to just take some ultramarine blue and right here like this. Kind of cut under here, just following that line right like that. There's my dark line, and I'm going to just trust I can get that straight. If you're worried, just add dry it and put tape. So then we're going to take a little bit of the turquoise blue because we want it lighter now. Kind of overlap that like this. I'm going to bring this in here like this. Okay. Put a little more white with that. Now you can mix colors on the canvas just as easily as you can on your palette, or almost as easy. All right. And I know that I want some darker blue right in here. Remember we talked about that? A little bit of phthalo blue and ultramarine blue. I want something a little bit darker right here. And kind of right in this area. And then let's take a little phthalo green and mix with that, a little white. Just play with the ocean colors a bit. More white. Like that, okay? Let's just bring this up here. We'll allow for some streaks. It's all right. I'm going to put some more white on the brush and come right on up to the beach area here so it's lighter. I'll just paint over this rock and put the rock back. So we're saying this is where this all works like that. Maybe something a little darker right here. I'm just trying to do this in one kind of fell swoop, okay? So there's our different color water, and let's take some white paint, kind of flatten it out. And there we go. And as this dries, we can maybe add a little bit more to that, but that's kind of where we are right now. Okay? Want something a little darker right there. All right, so at some point you've got to dry it, and this would be a good place to dry right now. This would be a good place to just stop and dry everything. Now I'm just going to rinse the brush off and just look at how much, make sure there's no more blue on it. So I want to go right into the white. I want to say there's just a little bit of white here in our water, like that. Just there you go. Just something like that. That's all we're saying. Now, to make a gray color, we can take a little ultramarine blue and white and orange. So maybe a cad red, and that should make it gray. Now we'll add more blue to that. Okay. And let's add some more white to that. And I'm going to add a little tiny bit of magenta, I think. Like nothing. See that? A little drop of magenta. There you go. So I've got this little mountain that's coming here like this. It's like a little hill here. I'm going to bring it out into the water like that. And I want to say I'm going to take this brush is a little big to work that. Let's take a smaller one, take a little bit of kind of phthalo blue to that, and let's create a little smaller one back here, more white and blue. Okay, it's got to be lighter than this one. I'm going to say there's another kind of hill back there, so give it some real depth here, see? This has got to be lighter than the one I just painted. And let's give it something like that. We're going to bring this down here like this. And we'll take a little bit of purple and ultramarine blue and just come on down here and suggest there's some, we've got a little bit of an island down here. You don't want any real color in it because it's way back there. So we're just like the Wayback Machine. Remember that, John, the Wayback Machine?
Absolutely. Got to have a Wayback Machine.
All right, so those are our, that's our hill here. Just maybe bring this one up a bit. Yeah. All right, so now I know I'm in my dark color, so let's take a little bit of purple and magenta and come along here like this. Let's say I've got a rock edge out this way. And then a little bit of purple and magenta, and we're going to come over here. This is my beach. Let's say I've got another rock right here. Maybe one here. Okay. All right, you with me so far?
Haven't left yet.
Okay, haven't left, right? So that's, now we're going to say, don't you love that? We're going to say, let's switch brushes. We're going to take some of that purple color and a little ultramarine blue, and we're going to say that this is let's take a little bit of white with that. Yeah, I'm going to say this is our next hill. And it's taking a little bit of phthalo blue and white with that. This is our next hill. And then we're going to go into phthalo green without missing a beat, right? Phthalo green and ultramarine blue. Haven't even cleaned the brush, right? We're going to come on down here like this and say that this is where our next hill is, okay? And I might bring, that's it. That's all I'm going to do right there, okay? Because again, we're going to do some bright flowers, and I want to make sure I have that. All right, so that's good. You're going, yeah, sure, it's good.
I really look like a field of poppies so far.
Yeah, and I'm going to take a little more of this smaller brush. I want something a little darker right here, maybe purple and phthalo blue. I want something darker like this at the base of my rocks. Like that, okay? Yes and yes. So they're thinking, yeah, okay. So I'm not sure what you did, but okay.
I'm sure I know what you did. Adding rocks.
Now I'm going to take a little bit of white and come along here and make a little surf in front of this like that, and just suggest that there's some surf there. Kind of go around our island. Never hurts to do that. Now, if we take some white and yellow oxide, mostly white, like about 85% white, a little bit of yellow oxide, your brush has got a little bit of purple on it. It's dirty, so you're going to make this sort of dirty beach color. This is our sand. See, that was easy. That might take you can take a little bit more of the yellow oxide and, you know, add a bit of color to it, but like when you're going around these rocks. Then I'm going to grab a little tiny bit of phthalo green, yellow oxide. Now just follow the colors on this because they're kind of grayed out. We're going to say that there's some, this is where some of the green starts for our beach. A little white. Okay, so this is a little bit more white with that. All right, so everything is kind of a, you know, this is this grayed out green. All right, so that's, we're going to just leave that for a minute. Now, good news. We do a lot of, if you like landscapes, we've got a lot of beautiful new landscapes in our academy for 2023. You want to be sure you're looking at our YouTube Gazette and looking for what the newest tutorials are every week. And maybe if you are a red or purple member, and if you are a blue member in our academy and you've sent in some artwork for personal art coaching, you could be featured in our Gazette. So one of the reasons why you want to send it to me, even if you don't want art coaching, if you just write just sharing on it, that's enough to get you featured in the Gazette.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to draw in my poppy. Now I'm using the Inktense pencils, and I've got a pretty big poppy here, like this, coming this way because it's looking up at us. It's kind of folded, all right? And then over here, I'm going to put a little water on my pencil. Over here I've got, that's an interesting trick, by the way. If you can't see the pencil, add water to it. I just sort of guessed that that would work, but it does. Dip your pencil in water. All right, and then I want one here, kind of a cup, you know, these kind of a cup thing, and then here's a petal.
It's looking a different way.
Yeah, they're all looking up. Everybody wants to do a flower where it faces you like the sun, and they don't do that. So, so those are kind of our three main ones here, right? And then back here we're going to have one too, but it won't be quite as large as these because the ones in front have to be larger. Does that make sense? And then over here in this corner, I've got one that's just sort of hanging out off this corner. That noise in the background is our very...
Well, I don't know if you can really hear it.
You can't hear it?
Not really.
I can hear it, the garbage truck.
Well, of course you can hear it.
I've got one coming here like this. It's not quite so big. Look at the V shape I'm making. And then saying there's the center. Okay, like that. All right, then I've got one here. It's almost square. Okay. So you've got this main, draw a petal, just draw a petal, right? And then you've got this petal coming off of here, this one coming up this way, here's the center. And then you've got some coming around like this. All right, now we've got some other poppies which we can put in, which we're just going to suggest, and some other bits of orange, but for sure we've got these big ones. And we want to make sure that we have featured those. Okay. This big one comes off the canvas like that. All right, so I've drawn those on, and what I can do now is just take a clean small brush and let's see, let's just take this this color right here and paint them in. That's that luminous yellow. Because as bright as I want these, they will never be brighter than this color over white.
That's true.
This is as bright as these will ever get. Now there's a color I'm missing called cadmium orange, which I meant to put out and didn't.
We always seem to be missing colors.
I know, it's just so weird, isn't it?
It really is.
Cadmium orange. I have a giant tube of it too, so it's not like... Well, here's luminous orange. I could do that. Or luminous orange is going to be too bright. I want cadmium orange. Why do I not see it? That can't be it. No. Cadmium, isn't that weird, John? Here it is, down at the bottom. Here you go.
I knew it.
Cadmium orange by Golden. All right. Might have had it out, I just didn't see it. All right, so I'm going to do this poppy right here. I'm not going to do it in those luminous colors, but it's going to say cadmium orange here. Take a little bit of that luminous and the cadmium orange and say this one is not, it's bright, but it's not going to be quite so bright. Maybe just a brighter area right there. Yes and yes. So those are our main poppies.
The stars of the show.
You know, those are our main, and I wanted those really, really bright. Okay. So This is probably not dry, so let's just take a minute and dry everything. I think I caught the dryer on that. Looks interesting. Happy accident there. All right, so I've got some of this luminous orange. I'm going to take it with the phthalo green. And I want sort of a bright orange color, right up, kind of yellow orange color. Let's take some more. I think we need cad yellow medium. So for sure we need that color. And you're thinking, why doesn't she have all the colors out? Well, mostly I do, but I do sometimes.
They're mostly here.
I mostly do.
We're
Mostly.
running around.
So cad yellow. All right, so let's open that up. All right, so gonna just, there you go. Yeah, let's get a little bit of that on a dirty brush. That's what I want to suggest happened right here.
Add a little more depth. Don't really use much water.
The brush strokes are just at an angle going down, right? And I want some of that color over here. All right. And then I'm going to take some of that color right up in here. And let's just take some yellow oxide and let's see, yellow oxide, we got a little bit of yellow, cad yellow medium and yellow oxide, I think is what we were looking at here. Okay, and then let's a tiny bit of orange in that. That luminous yellow is really, it's a good color to just kind of dull those down here. We're just going to do this just to indicate that there's, so you got to kind of go with me on that because we're building up layers, all right? Now, the next group of layers we got is phthalo green and white. And a little bit of yellow oxide. And I'm going to say there's some of this color. It's kind of a blue-green color. I'm going to put it down here by these flowers. Think of a patchwork quilt in a painting like this. Kind of working it around my flowers like that. Then I'm going to go into the ultramarine blue and start putting that dark color on the brush and just not talk too much about this. Okay, a little ultramarine blue and phthalo green, I think. I'm just going to move this. We're going to be very careful when we paint around these flowers. I want all the brush strokes up and down.
Indicating what taller grasses.
Yeah, but just all these are going to be up and down. And this is where you really rely on contrast. It's all phthalo green in there. We just totally rely on the contrast to make the painting. So this will maybe a little more elaborate than when we're live, because we have to do a lot of drawing in a painting like this, and it's a little hard to do on a live show. So since hopefully, where are we going to be in the world where this is airing, John? Do you...
Oh, we're somewhere between here and there. We should be on the Holland America ship, heading back towards the Boston area.
Yeah, so we hope we can join you on the...
But we're going to be up in the Greenland, Iceland area, which is kind of the top of the earth, and sometimes what we've heard, internet is not the best up there.
All right.
The angle to the satellites isn't the best.
So we'll come over here to the darker color. go around this
But by golly, we're going to do
flower.
our best to be there. Yeah, I believe we're going to be in Iceland. Looking at the chart.
See how I'm doing that?
Looking good so far, I think.
And I've got another little flower that I'm just going to leave a space for. A little bit of blue. Now as I get up here, I want almost this turquoisey green, kind of more of a moss green color. So I'll add more of the yellow oxide to my brush. And that's my underpainting color for what goes on top. All right, so you kind of see where we're again, this is a different way. It's fun to show you different ways to paint things. If you were an oil painter, you would probably be more likely to paint it this way. Because you can't, it's not going to dry on you, so you got to come up with a plan B, how you're going to paint this in. Now, over in this area right here, I'm going to have some darker green right up in here like that with a little ultramarine blue, maybe a little bit of purple, a little bit of yellow oxide to make it kind of mossy green. But right up in this area in here, I want that darker. And I want some dark coming down here in this area. So take a little bit of blue. All right. You see how I'm putting in the contrast, yes and yes. Now, and this is such a funny way to paint anything, and I understand that, right? But we're just doing it. I like to look at this like a puzzle. I want a little bit of light blue in here, kind of gray.
We like to look at things differently.
We're going to just see one of these days something will make sense to one of you and go, I wish I'd have known how to paint it this way because that's how I always would have done it. And maybe you would have. I don't know.
Just a different approach.
It's a different approach, right?
It's the end results you're going for.
And look, because we're going over white canvas with these pretty turquoises and blues and stuff, there's almost a glow through the canvas, you see, because we went over white. You can see some light through it, okay? Now, see if we got any green here. Let's put a little green, just a little bit of green right in here. Darken this up just a touch. All right, I've got some trees coming up here, which we can do. We can just put our trees in up here. They're going to come up this way. Sometimes it's nice, though, to use zinc white. Now, this is where normally I'd just say, oh, it's YouTube, this won't bother, but sometimes understanding where to use zinc white can be very helpful. I'm assuming I can find it.
Now, that is there. That's always there.
All right.
Come on.
We can find our zinc white here.
Also a transparent white, mixing white, all the same.
All right, so I'm going to take, let's see, let's move this over. And where's a paper towel? Thought I had some paper towels over here. You were supposed to give me some sheets.
I did give you some sheets.
Well, they got used up, man. This is
they did
for
not.
days. All right. All right, so while we're waiting for the sheets, we're just going to kind of thin this out. And we're going to come up here like this and suggest that there might be some zinc white here like this between these two. Ah, here's my sheet. This is why I want it like this, because you want to wipe the paint off and then use what's left on your brush. You want to suggest, that's a little titanium, but I want to suggest that there's a kind of the ocean mist that's coming up between where our trees are going to be, like that. See? To separate this island or this hill from that. So I just did. So really push that back. Then I can take the purple and a little magenta, and I'm going to say I'm going to start my first tree right here. I'm going to end it up here. Take all the way off the canvas. Yeah, John says he would have drawn it on, but he might, and you might want to do that. Draw it on. See where it's the right spot. I know that I've got some sort of trees coming down here like this from the tops. We're just going to say that there's some leaves coming down. And let's see, let's put a little bit of dark green with that over the purple. There you go. We're not saying too much about this. It's just all right, so we got some trees there. I think I want to make this one thicker so they're not all the same. All right, the same thing with this one. I'll make that one. I'll just all right. So that's kind of cool. That's our trees, and just with some leaves coming down like that. Yes. So let's bring some this way, so that all going down. Let's have some just doing that. All right. So far so good. Yep. Yes and yes. A little bit of yellow up here, kind of overlaps that. A little bit of orange. Let's get something a little bit brighter here. Okay, so I've got that. Now, I'm going to have a lot of poppies in here, in this white area. So we're going to put those in now. We're going to take some cadmium yellow and some cadmium orange. And we're going to go ahead and suggest a field of poppies. A little bit of yellow. Just take some yellow now. Let's see, that's cad yellow. I want to make sure it's clean. That was a little dirty. Okay, so we're going to say that those are just suggested poppies. We'll put a few little bright colors like that. And just cad yellow light, cad red light, and a little bit of yellow. Makes a pretty bright color. Again, we're just suggesting flowers. When you get up here, You want the dots to be very tiny. And bigger as you come closer. Back up in here. So a little bit of red here, a few places. That's the cad red. That's cad red light, I think. Now, if you wanted a dot to be brighter, you could make it white and then do it. But we're gonna go for it.
Hey, we'd like to thank the moderator for being here tonight. We're sure you're out there somewhere.
Absolutely.
My microphone was off. Hey, in case you didn't hear me, I'd like to thank the moderators for being here. We know who you are. We can see you.
All right, so I'm gonna dry this while you're thanking the moderators.
Great. Hey, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming here tonight. Moderator, especially you. The show would not go on without you. We certainly couldn't do the. We are heading our way back to the United States, like we said earlier. We're in Iceland area, Iceland and Greenland, on the way back on the Holland America ship. And we should be home, I think we'll be live on the next show after this one, or they're out of order. I'm not sure how they're going to be posted, but we'll be live and in person very soon. Appreciate everybody who's made donations throughout the course of our travels. And we'll have an advertisement in here about the next quarter and what paintings will be offered for the quarter drawing. We'll have more details on that as we're going on as well. Let's bring the queen back.
Okay, so now what I want is some white phthalo green. Just a very light phthalo green. I want to come up here like this and dot on some flowers, and that's not quite what, need more white with that. So I want them, but it's just, those are just a bit too dark. All right, here we go.
Yeah, it's beginning to look like a field of poppies for sure.
A little bit of ultra phthalo blue. So as we add the more layers to it, right? Start to fill in some of this light section with a little of this green. Then get some more blue. Now I want something darker up in here. So we're just playing with the contrast a little bit more here. There's some blue on this rock. See how muddy those flowers are? Let's just paint those out and either paint them white or do something, because you don't want muddy poppies. So just can't have that, right?
Kind of detracts from the whole.
We want a little bit of the phthalo green here. All right, and let's see, what else have we got going here? Some of this green color. And I want to take a little bit of the orange and white and do a couple light highlights on my rocks. Maybe more of a gray-green color. All right, so we've got sort of now what we need to do is paint these flowers in, but I've been playing around with the blues, but I want to make sure that's all dry before I go into my oranges. Does that make sense? I want to make sure I have my contrast around the flowers where I need it. I'm going to dry this one more time. All right, I'm going to dry this one more time and then start painting in the flowers. You want to have some paintings we can show, John?
Discover the vibrant world of artistry at the Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting, located at paintingwithginger.com, a leading online platform that not only transforms aspiring artists into creative virtuosos, but also provides the flexibility to learn at your own pace. Our expertly curated video tutorials cater to both amateur and seasoned artists, offering an immersive experience in the realm of acrylic painting. As we continue to evolve and accommodate diverse learning preferences, we are thrilled to announce that our online acrylic painting video tutorials are now available as single lesson purchases. Dive into our extensive library of high-quality video tutorials featuring in-depth lessons on techniques, color mixing, composition, and more. With each single lesson purchase, you unlock the freedom to choose the topics that pique your interest or fit your learning goals. Whether you're looking to hone a specific skill or explore a new style, the Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting has you covered. Watch the lessons online or download them for offline viewing, providing the convenience and flexibility to learn anytime, anywhere. Embrace the opportunity to develop your artistic prowess with our single lesson video tutorials, tailored to suit your individual needs. Join the Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting today and indulge in a creative journey that knows no bounds. Unleash your inner artist and let the colors of your imagination come to life at paintingwithginger.com.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let me just, all right, let's clap and I'll come back in and show that. So if you're liking paintings of flowers, let me show you what we're offering in our academy, our internet art tutorials, and paintingwithginger.com or acrylicpaintingwithginger.com. This is a 12 by 24 canvas, and it's a landscape of flowers, and using a lot of the luminous colors. And it's on a almost a 3.5-inch wide, a gallery wrap canvas. And that's a tutorial that's being released this summer. Do you know when this is being released, John?
Not off bat, no.
You know, so you want to
It
look
could
for
be
that.
out now or it's coming soon.
Look for that, okay? And
It's called
just if you know, the moderators may tell you. And then one of my favorite street scenes is this flower shop. And again, lots of different ways to paint colors and flowers. And this is again part of our the over 700 tutorials that we have in Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic painting with us. And what's neat is that any individual painting, if there's a painting that you particularly like and like to own the tutorial, like you like to own a book, just have it for always. You can buy our tutorials as downloadables, or if you just subscribe monthly, you have access to over 700 of them. Try us for a week, and you still have access to all of them, whatever you can manage to paint in a week. But the personal art coaching comes with a red, purple, and blue members. Okay?
Gotcha.
So that's what that was. And then I've got one more to show. Sometimes you can make a statement, like the painting I have now would be fabulous the size of this 20 by 20 canvas. Because again, this is another square, just kind of give you an idea of the difference. Okay, does that help you to understand the size of it? And we have a couple of flower paintings in our academy this size with the daisies, and we have another one of red poppies. Those are really spectacular when you paint them large. 20 by 20 canvases are neat for this. One we're doing today certainly would be gorgeous this size.
Absolutely. So that's a few of the tutorials that are currently or will be available.
So, all right, so now we're going to take a clean brush because I don't want any green on it. And I don't want to take the time to wash it. We're going to come down here, back up a little bit, John.
Trying to work with the zoomer.
Okay, so let's start with this front poppy. We're going to take some cadmium orange, and maybe I'll put some yellow with that. Look at my little rag here. I wipe that off and get some yellow. I think I still want that other color here. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit of cad red light. Too dark. Let's do yellows. That's not the color I want. Here we go. Let's look for cad yellow light. Telling you what, that might make a difference. Try cad yellow light. It's not quite red enough. Okay, I'm feeling like Goldilocks, but it's not orange enough. All right, what am I missing? This is called Image Zone Orange. Let's try that. I'm telling you what, I'm going to get the color I want here, or know why. Okay. Better, but not quite. All right, so I need some white paint. I am not happy with this color mixture. So this is all right. Just start with one flower. Don't do them all and then decide you hate the color. All right, let's take some white with this. And I'm gonna start mixing colors like this and see if I can get the color that I want. Maybe what I was missing was white. And so I'll tell you what, since we dried everything, let's take, I don't suppose we brought any more paper towels, just that one.
Well, yeah, there was another one that was over there right behind you.
Let's take a rag and wipe this off, because I've got a really good color base underneath. See that? And I just didn't like what I had.
You don't want to lose
So
it.
let's just start over. No. So maybe it was the brush. Let's take that off. Okay, so starting with white maybe, and yellow, and maybe some cad red, medium, cadmium orange. Okay, that looks like a better color to me. Boy, that just looks so brown.
It really does look brown, even to me.
So now this is interesting. So maybe it's looking brown because of the color I was painting. Maybe this funny color is changing how it looks.
What color? Right. What colors are you putting on top of it?
Well, that was that luminous yellow. So we're going to do an experiment, you guys, because, all right, we're going to take white paint, and I'm going to paint this flower white, because I really thought that luminous yellow would be a perfect idea to do.
It may not be.
But anything I'm painting on top of it looks brown, which doesn't do it for me, right? So I'm going to paint it white. Even the white looks a little brown. All right, let's just take a moment and think about this. And I'll dry that. That's important to know. I mean, don't you think that's important to know?
I think it's very important to know.
Because I'm not getting the colors I want. And I know I can get them. I'm painted enough to know I can get that color. So if I'm not getting it, why not? All right, let's see how we're doing now, because I'm just not impressed with that. So we'll stay away from that and just do, well, there you go. That's cadmium orange. But that's exactly what I wanted. How funny. I mean, John, that's really funny.
It is.
Here's a little yellow.
So it really didn't like going over that other color.
It did not like going over that other color at all. Now, maybe you can use that as an accent, you know? Because, I mean, I could have a bright red color here, and I know that this part of the, see, that's a bright orange flower right there. Here's some cad yellow. Okay. So that is so interesting to me. That was a cad yellow light. Where's that? All right, I don't know what yellow this was, but that wasn't cad yellow light. What happens when you have a lot of colors? All right, that's cad yellow light. Let's see what we get there. All right, yeah, see, there you go. All right, so that, at least that's the bright orange I want for this poppy, okay? So, now I'm going to dry that poppy, all right? And then if this works, then I'll go back and paint all the poppies white, okay? But I did this color too. That needed to be lighter right there. Okay. Now let's take the little bit of the purple color. We'll put it right here in the center. Kind of a half moon thing, not a round dot, half moon. And we'll take the I'm going to reshape this poppy now. See how I shaped it? By just coming back with the grass color and actually giving it a shape that it didn't really have before. So I'm pretty happy with that. So what happened, and I'm so sorry about this, because I would have thought that would have been just splendidly perfect.
That just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I would never have guessed that in a million years, because I guess you could put it as a highlight, as the last thing, but not as the first thing. So what I'm going to do is paint all these white.
Put them back to white.
I put them back to white. I feel like the Mad Hatter with the painting the roses white. What was that? Was it the Queen was either painting them white or...
Yeah, they're going back and forth.
And this is really almost gray. It affects this color because it looks gray to me now.
It does to me too.
It looks gray.
How's that even possible?
Well, I have no idea, but I'm telling you what, that was just majorly disappointing.
That's titanium white?
Yep.
Wow. It looks like a nice gray.
Yep, titanium white. Yeah, it looks like a gray. Well, you know.
So apparently that's a color that likes to be on top and top only.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a color that only could be on top before.
I didn't either.
I just had no idea that there were colors that only wanted to be on top.
They're special.
My gosh, that were special.
I want to be on top or nothing at all.
Yeah. So, well, you know what? We're empowered to fix anything.
Absolutely.
We'll just leave some of that showing through, not paint over that where it's showing like the little bit of yellow. We'll just leave that. Okay? Gosh, it's gray looking. I'm going to dry it and paint it white one more time because I'm really not trying to paint gray flowers.
Yeah, I'd like to see if it does go to white.
I'm telling you what, that is just so annoying. I can't even talk about how annoying that is.
Let's not talk about it then.
Well, we have to because
it is annoying.
Because if you did this, you'd be saying, that Ginger, look, I don't know what you did, but I'm going to kill her, right? I go friggin' kill Ginger.
I would strongly recommend not to, in the intro, we should probably say, don't do what I did because it didn't work.
Yeah, because, we'll just do that in the intro, right?
Be careful. Don't paint along. That is just, I've never seen a color do that.
Oh, no, me neither. Never.
That is just so bizarre.
And disappointing.
Greatly so.
Disappointing.
That didn't even look like that's white anymore.
No. Well, here's the difference. Here's the white over the blue.
What's whiter there?
And it looks whiter, doesn't it?
But that yellow making it go gray?
It's making it go gray.
That is just truly bizarre.
Well, we're going to get a nice painting out of this if we're here all night, right?
Absolutely.
Just at this point.
We're not leaving until we know it's perfect.
The kind of thing that would just make you cry, you know that?
Make you cry in your beer.
You're just thinking, I don't understand why this is happening to me. It's not fair. Why is this happening? I give up, right? And just do one here like that. As long as we're doing them. All right. So again, this looks very gray. So I'm going to dry that and then paint these other flowers white again. One more time because I'm just not interested in flowers that aren't. I need those poppies to pop.
And they're not popping. They still look gray.
Yeah, they look gray, don't they? It looks gray to me. All right. I mean, I started with a clean brush and everything. All right, here's white again.
Is it whiter? Still looking gray to me. Because see, I'm not balanced off yet, so.
No, it's still kind of looking gray, but I mean, it's you can see it's going to have to be whiter for these to work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to need two
Yeah,
coats
to get it bright again.
to get them bright again.
This is a sad state of affairs.
Well, who would think that? I mean, just.
I guess you've always used that color on top.
Yeah.
Which one's that again?
That's that luminous yellow.
Luminous Yellow by Holbein. So keep that in mind, folks. If you have that color, it wants to be on the top billing. That's interesting. That's going to have to require further studies.
Well, it kind of does, doesn't it? Do you think we got it there?
Well,
No.
it looks whiter, but it's not white yet. It's not a titanium white.
No. Well, all right. So hopefully this will work out better for you than it did for me, because you won't do this and won't be trying to correct it. Yeah. Yes and yes.
Yep. Let's see, if this was watercolor, we just get out a whole new sheet of paper and start over.
Start over. Right?
Start over.
But this isn't. The painting is kind of nice, except for the.
Oh, it is nice.
For the
but
dead flowers, right?
I'm not sure what happened here. We've got a bunch of great flowers.
Well, ooey.
Well, what do you think, Chief?
I don't know. We'll just we're just gonna.
Are you going to go for it, or are you going to go for a third coat?
No, I think I'm gonna just go for it now. All right. So let's take a little bit of cad yellow. That's still nice and light. A light orange. That's working. See?
Working better than it was.
And let's take a little bit more of the yellow.
That's just so
right
bizarre.
Up here like that. A little bit of the cad red light. All right, it's better, yes?
Oh, definitely better than what you had before. Man, the one before were brown flowers. Yuck.
Let's try a little bit more yellow in here. That's nice. Okay, that one's working now. I think we're gonna be okay, you guys.
It was a close call, though.
Yeah. It's like a V here, like that. See that? This is the flower, kind of. We're seeing the wall of this flower here. Okay, everybody's good with that. I'll put the centers in later. So we're just going to start with get kind of a yellow color on this one, and then go for the light orange here. Remember, you can come back with your green and reshape. You want to figure they're going to be at least 3 shades of of the orange. Yeah. Okay, so as you come through here, I don't know if this is making any sense, but for instance, I know this has got to be a darker little section right here, and like that. So I want some yellow here on this flower. And wipe the brush off and get a little darker red for right here. All right, so let's keep going. We'll just keep painting them in, right?
Well, at least it'll look brighter and cheerier than they did when you first started. That was a little scary.
Yeah, it was scary, wasn't it?
Like the whole something was very bizarre. Never seen a paint do that. That's just weird.
No. I mean, just now, now I want to get out my luminous colors
And put them all down
color
in
mixing journal.
Yeah.
As a buyer beware kind of thing, and say, look what happens when you do this, so you don't have to find that out the hard way, like we just did. All right, so here's some nice bright orange up here. So on back in here, right, what we're doing is we're varying the the lights and darks. We're not saying any particular flower. We're just coming back here with either a lighter or darker orange and suggesting flowers that way. Because as things get into the distance, they get that you don't see the detail.
It's true. The further away, everything gets smushed together. For the perspective.
So let's take a small round brush and then do the orange. Nice here. Let's just pop these out here like that. See what I mean about how much better they look over
real white.
Over white. You don't want them all the same color. You want some brighter and some. Little patience. Your sock folder should be in heaven.
But make sure you don't put dots and rows and lines and circles.
Yeah,
random
you
people.
Got to random.
Got to keep it random.
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 There's lots of little white dots here, friend. So California is famous for these kind of poppies. You see them growing on the highway. They really are they're a fun, they're natural wildflower. It's the California poppy. That's their state flower. Lady Bird Johnson, Lyndon Johnson, President Lyndon Johnson's wife, was responsible for getting states to put their wildflowers on the highways. She started in Texas with the bluebonnets.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
And one of the things apparently that bugged her was they had property in Texas, out in the hill country, and when they would drive up these freeways, like to Austin or Dallas or wherever they went, there'd be these junkyards on the side of the road with a highway, and you'd see all these wrecked cars, and she just hated that, man. That was her.
That was
her
peeve.
hot button, man.
Yeah.
She absolutely hated that. And so she got Congress. That was her one thing that she did in office. I mean, maybe she did some other stuff too that I know of, where she got Congress to make that illegal. Which, is kind of neat too, right? This is a little magenta and purple. You're starting to breathe a sigh of relief, aren't you now?
I am now. Man, it was a close call. I thought we were going to have to do the whole thing all over again.
Well.
And we would have.
And we would have.
Golly.
We would have, right?
And we didn't even thought twice about it.
We would have. And not thought twice about it. I'm going to dry this and then come back with my final top colors. And shape the flowers too. All right, so what do we got going now? Well, we don't know, but let's see what we can do. All right.
At least we don't have funny colors.
No, we don't have funny colors. So let's get into some blues and greens. And let's reshape some of our flower, right? Make that kind of more of a just a few basic See, I like that. So I can put a little blue next to it because that's going to make that flower, no pun intended, pop, right?
Gotta have it pop.
And then maybe I'll take a little green and come under this one. And want some phthalo green and white. And I want to come under this a lot and just bring some of these light blue colors. Oh, you see what a difference that makes? Just going to get something a little lighter there. So I want a combination of sort of light phthalo green dots and darker ones. And you've got to dry in between on something like this, because if you don't, orange and it will turn brown, because orange and green make kind of a brown color. Take a little blue like that. So how you can use the other color to shape a color. And there's some ultramarine blue and white. So back to the green colors. Okay, so then we'll start putting in some darker ones again. So we need some darker ones around this flower. This is a very impressionistic painting, but to me what sort of makes it is the lighter greens. And the turquoisey colors, to just imply a field of flowers without actually, you know, seeing them everywhere. Just saying that there's maybe there's a flower right here. Just imply a flower without that. So as I keep adding colors, again, this got to be a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. That one a little darker.
Well, it only got complicated because we were playing with colors.
Well, yeah, and I just
if we're playing with something we didn't think would happen.
I know.
That was just bizarre.
It was so weird, wasn't it?
It's just so wrong in so many ways.
So, okay, so then sometimes you can ask yourself, what can I take away and not ruin the effect? That's the other thing that has to come up. So I got a lot of dots here. Can I eliminate any and still have the same effect? So what could I just push back in the way of dots right here? And maybe here, this is just too much, so we'll give this a little bit of breathing room and not put anything over here. So I stand up and look at this picture and sit there and say, I want this to be a little calmer than it is. And I want something very dark, like a purple next to this flower right here. Yeah, I'm adding some darker purples. So you would not think that there was that much going on with a flower like this. But there you have it, there is. Now, does this feel like there's a little bit too much of the white showing here? when I look at these dots. Do you see that, John?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a little bit too much. So, which is all right. It's good to see it, but I'm getting a little bit too busy with all these dots. So I'm going to dry that and put some orange over them. Okay, just kind of. I'm going to erase some. How's that?
Okay.
Right.
I'll let you do that.
The Karen Little Scholarship Fund is a unique and inspiring initiative designed to nurture the talents of struggling artists who dream of joining our prestigious Academy of Fine Art in Acrylic Painting. By providing financial assistance to those in need, the fund empowers individuals to overcome economic barriers and pursue their passion for art. With the generous support of our donors, we're able to offer scholarships to deserving artists and match each donation, dollar for dollar, to make an even greater impact. Participating in an art program like acrylic painting offers a myriad of benefits, both for mental well-being and social interactions. Engaging in creative expression is known to alleviate stress, boost self-esteem, and encourage mindfulness. It allows individuals to explore their emotions and ideas, promoting personal growth and self-discovery. Furthermore, our Academy offers a supportive community of like-minded artists, fostering meaningful connections and collaboration. As artists share their experiences and learn from one another, they enrich their craft and strengthen the bonds within the art community. To express our gratitude for the invaluable support from our donors, we offer an exciting opportunity to win a one-of-a-kind Ginger Cook original painting. For every $25 donated during the quarter, the donor will receive a ticket that is placed in a fishbowl. At the end of each quarter, we draw 4 tickets and announce the lucky winners. This unique incentive not only rewards our donors for their generosity, but also allows them to own a piece of exquisite artwork by the renowned artist Ginger Cook. By donating to the Karen Little Scholarship Fund, you're not only supporting the dreams of aspiring artists, but also contributing to the enrichment of the art community as a whole. The fund creates a ripple effect, touching the lives of many artists and uplifting those who have the talent and dedication to excel in the world of acrylic painting. Together, we can continue to make a difference in the lives of countless artists and ensure that the world of art remains a vibrant and inclusive space for all. Please note that the Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting, including the Karen Little Scholarship Fund, is not a registered 501(c)(3) organization under the United States Internal Revenue Code. Consequently, any donations made to the Karen Little Scholarship Fund or the Academy are not tax deductible for federal income tax purposes. We sincerely appreciate your support and generosity in helping aspiring artists achieve their dreams through our scholarship program. Drawing rules: to participate, you must be 18 years of age or older. Regional rules and conditions apply. Void where prohibited. Disclaimer: the scholarship drawing is not affiliated with YouTube or any Google products in any way at all.
All right. So I don't want any green on my brush. I have to have a clean brush that's only had orange and stuff on it, right? So let's go for that, right? This is an easy fix, you guys. See, we're just going to sort of calm this down. Do we think we got it here? Let's try a little yellow.
It's looking a little better. Yeah,
See,
some
I'm
brightness to it.
brightening up some of the front flowers. See, I should have been able to do that with that other one, and I couldn't do it. Wasn't that interesting? That other one, I couldn't paint it over. So interesting to me. Okay, now, Let's try a little bit of green. And what, some sort of light green here. Sometimes you can just erase a few things, and it's only just doing that, just erase something. If you've got too much of, you know what I mean, that can be as effective as anything. Just take out some of what you've got, and then you've still got your contrast. Okay. Now I want to come back up here with the phthalo green and the phthalo blue, and I want to put more water in here that's got these colors in it. Some white in it. Everything in this case dried a little lighter than I wanted. I'm putting that paint on pretty thick here, but now let's see, where are we? Let's make that beach a little warmer. All right, so far so good, yes and yes. A little more contrast here on our beach. Now I'm just going to go around the picture adding contrast where I feel like it needs it. A little bit of purple. Again, I've just taken out a few of the polka dots that I got carried away putting in. And then if you really wanted to, you could shape them like little hearts. If you wanted to. Okay, so again, vary the size of these. Let's see what else we got. Let's see, phthalo green. I'm just still working on popping up the colors.
Make them come alive.
Yeah, I want I want there to be enough contrast where when you see this flower, you're not distracted. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I've got some white spots in here. I'm just trying to get rid of them. There's just too many little white spots that are bugging me. We'll just do blocks of color like that. Because that just got too busy. It seemed like a good idea when I designed this painting, but it just got a little busy on me. Which happens. Just don't worry about it. If it happens, just, see when it does, and
Don't panic.
don't panic. Yeah. Yes and yes. Um, okay, so far so good there. Again, maybe too many polka dots. Let's just erase a couple. Then the ones that you do have are more, you're going to see them because you just didn't put so many in. If I want to put some in, I'll use the back of my brush like this and dot a couple like that. There we go. All right, well, I don't have any seabirds in here quite yet. But I feel like we've got the colors now for the poppy field. Yes and yes. And let's go over the oranges a little bit more here.
A lot more alive than it was with that brownish color you're getting.
Well, what was that about? You know what I mean? Just, what was that
That
about?
was just, definitely have to play with that.
That's what I didn't get was, I mean, I know that, you know, you get, you'll get better color if you go over your reds a couple times. I know that, but
Yeah, but I think you were going brown, and I don't think it was going to get any better fast.
it was going brown on me, totally brown, and I really didn't understand what that was about. Here I go back with the polka dots, but I just want this turquoise blue color. As long as I'm going nuts with colors. That's just phthalo green and white, by the way. All right, so my goodness, John. There was a lot to do here, wasn't there?
More than we thought. I thought this would be a 5-minute paint job here.
Oh, I did too. I thought there would be.
Be a slam dunk. I think this is one of our longest ones yet.
Is it? Yeah, it just, well, maybe we can cut out me painting every flower white or something. Since we're doing this, right? But.
Ah, they're having good chats.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, I think if you watch this and just discovered what not to do with that color,
that's worth it.
It might be worth it. What do you think?
I think we need to test that again because I just can't. I don't understand why that would do that. It had to be something else. Has to be.
See, I want these flowers to be showing up, and look what happens when I add all this dark next to them. See? Then these flowers become. That's where you're going to look first. Then you're going to come on over here to this dark color here for the rocks. And then we'll come on up here to the hill. And these little dots are too big, so we're going to take them out. I mean, if you're going to do it, let's just do it right, yeah? Let's have a little bit of this green right here on this hill, yeah? So hold your painting up to a mirror, you know, sometimes you can do that and see whether, where you are with that. Now look, here's that bright orange color again, right? Do we dare it?
Are you going to do it? Are you putting it on top now?
Now I'm going to put it on top.
Well, we know it's going to be fun on top. It seemed to be.
See? Now look what it does if I put it on top. just to the ones that I want to catch your attention on, right? And then that works, right?
It appears to be.
Right? You wouldn't want to do it everywhere, but and let's see if I can get, all right, you trust me in this little tiny dots up here. Better? Yes and yes?
Yeah.
It just, now that's that luminous orange color now. A yellow. Now that popped the flowers, didn't it, in a few places?
It actually did.
So I guess the lesson we're learning in here is that you can put luminous colors on top of things, but not on the,
Well, at least from this particular study.
not underneath. And here's a luminous, I know, you guys are going to kill me. This is luminous orange now. But we're in for a penny here, right? In for a pound. So we just, really?
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, you know, it's just, that's the theory behind shopping malls. Did you know that?
No. They figured they got you
They
trapped.
figured that once they get the first dollar, they discovered there was this thing, and if they can get you to buy $1 cookie, they can get you to spend $100. And the theory behind that is it's a little bit like when you're dieting. If somebody says, "Oh, I can't eat that. I'm on a diet." Well, just have a bite of this cookie, and then once you do that, right?
All deals are off.
Then you're thinking, well,
what's one bite? Come on. What can it hurt? So true.
Now you see where I'm adding a little bit of this color? This is the luminous orange.
I think you've been going luminous crazy lately.
Well, I have, because this will really, I want these front flowers to be, take a little bit of luminous yellow and a luminous orange, and let's see what we get. This will be the, yeah. Now you've got a, whoops, didn't want that. See with that, let me just get a little more of that color out somewhere, put it right there. That brush is no good, I need a stiffer brush. What can I get? Let's try this one. All right, so I got a little tiny bit of this. Listen, I'm telling you what, I wanted these flowers. See, they just disappeared. Look at how they disappeared.
You're bringing them back.
Yeah.
There'll be nobody hiding today.
No. Putting a little water with this one in. So I want that flower to be a bit brighter. Well, I guess it depends on, what you like, because you wouldn't want to do these on all of them, but just every so often a dot might be a little brighter. Now I feel like the poppies really, do you feel like they really stand out? Yes and yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
They do, right? Okay. I just feel like I wasn't getting that effect, but I think I am now. So hard to say, you guys, when you're painting with something like this. It's, you know, because it's everything's either lighter or darker than something else. This is just a little cad red here. But sometimes you've got things that are lighter, darker than something else. I'm trying to get rid of some of the white. I think that's where. All right, so if we were going to do this again, what would we do? An underpainting color? Yeah, if we're doing this again, we would make the whole underpainting color yellow, light yellow, and then maybe the top blue. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
That's what I would do, because I don't like all the white showing and having to take the time to figure out where that white is, right?
It's one thing, if this was watercolor, you get away with it, but acrylic, not so much.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Got to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't like that so much. Well, we got into the green. Well, you know what? I think we're going to stop here. I'm going to look at it for a minute, and then we'll go ahead and put the frame on it and show you what this looks like framed. Let's just come around here like this rock, like that.
A little water coming ashore.
Yeah. Which, you know, we can do, because we just did. Not trying to get too much. Just put some dark up in here. So your eye sort of drawn into, I want your eye to be drawn into here and then up into our trees and then back into our water. So it sort of works for me. Does it work for you, John?
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay. Well, all right. This is one of those paintings where you're either going to like it or you're going to hate it, but you sure learned what not to do on it, didn't you?
Hey, you learn what you may want to think about before doing.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, who would know that you can't paint over those? Let's do a little bit of light on the rocks.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but
that's the facts.
yeah, it just, and this is dark right coming up here like that. Kind of separate those from the rest of this. All right. So as I look at it, I feel like we have successfully completed this. I think. John's going to go find us the frame.
Oh, that's what I'm doing, right.
And I'm going to paint these darker, these spots. I want these darker purple. Like so. And I've resisted putting in birds, but I've really thought about it. But we haven't put any in, so. Darken that a little bit. All right, I'm going to just take the paper towel off. It's really a nice thing to have it next to your painting so you can wipe off your paint, kind of see what you've got going there. And I think I would try gold, John. I think in gold might be the trick here. Let's try gold.
That's why I didn't do it.
Okay. What do you think?
Pretty good.
I like gold.
Pop it off. Let's just see what it looks like.
Mm-mm.
It depends on the house decor. Some houses would go with that.
I don't know.
In our house, we go.
I definitely think gold. For sure. Yeah. John's got to back it up so you can see it better.
Stop.
That's too much.
No kidding.
But
Equipment.
well, you know, everything takes a little is a little challenging right now, as far as the as our painting goes. Everything seems to be a little bit more challenging. Sometimes when I see a frame on something, I can see what else I can do. There you go. I can sort of see things that I didn't see before. Something like that. Okay. Well, you guys, we've got a field of poppies for sure. California coastal poppies. And I feel like we had a successful run with that. Yes and yes. She's still doing it, but all right. I feel like where I sign it will be I don't know, but I just see how there's an outline around this poppy because of the white, and I just don't want that.
No, we do the intro. Make sure you guys listen. Watch the intro for sure. Wait, look. Force to watch it.
Oh, but I just that's what I'm not happy about is that is there's a little bit of white around that flower because I just didn't like that. But and that's the result of not having a light yellow underpainting.
Yeah, but well, we do it again. We'll definitely do that.
Well, I mean, these are the things that, kind of learn as you go. And one of the fun things about, watching a tutorial like this is that you become aware of stuff like that because the artist teaches you, So even though I didn't know about it, now you know about it, right? So, like for instance, if I wanted this flower to show up, and I wanted it's a dark green, if I did come around here like this and just put some green here, then I've got this poppy. See how this poppy then, I brought that out because of the because of putting green right there. Okay, so that's the kind of thing you can. I might just do something a little brighter right here on it. And then that one kind of shows up a little more. So, okay. So I think probably, I don't know where I would sign it, John. Maybe right here.
That's the only spot I see.
But I would think I would sign it with gold, the gold Posca pen.
To go with the gold frame.
And it's a gold frame, so I think I'd sign it there. Look, I'm very curious to know how you guys, if you felt like you learned anything from this tutorial, just by what went wrong and what went right. Okay? Because, so much happens when you're painting a painting that can work and not work. And you just want to avoid panicking when something you painted you feel didn't work the way you wanted it. How's that? Yes?
Exactly. No time to panic.
All right, so thanks for watching. We will hope you will share this painting with us if you decide to paint it in our Facebook club. Thanks, moderators, and everybody that contributed to our scholarship fund today. I hope you're reading our Gazette, so you're seeing where we're
heading to,
what we're doing, and enjoying our photos of our trip. And so we can bring you more inspirational
fine art.
Yeah, more like that.
Fine art painting.
Yeah, we can bring you more inspirational fine art painting and enjoy California coastal poppies.
Experience a truly unique and personalized approach to learning with our Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting, where we offer an array of distinctive features tailored to meet the individual needs of each artist. Among our most sought-after offerings is personal art coaching, provided by none other than the esteemed master artist Ginger Cook. Students can easily email photos of their artwork, either in progress or completed, and receive invaluable feedback and suggestions from Ginger herself. This one-on-one guidance enables our students to refine their skills and elevate their artistic abilities. Our Academy goes above and beyond by providing personalized short videos known as video packs, where students can send in their own unique artwork from personal references and photos for expert suggestions and guidance. This tailored support ensures that every artist can grow and excel in their preferred style and subject matter. Staying current and up to date, our Academy library is continuously updated with new releases that reflect the trending paintings and subjects that our students are eager to learn. In 2023, we've expanded our course offerings to include portraits, people, and more painting design instruction, especially for our Purple members. Our diverse range of subjects spans from classic art tutorials featuring world-famous artists like Van Gogh and Renoir to contemporary trends in decor and themes. All styles of art are encompassed within our Academy, including photorealism, impressionism, romanticism, and stylized art. Each student is made to feel special with our one-on-one personal art coaching available at red, purple, and blue membership levels, starting at under $50 a month. There's no doubt that our Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting stands out as the most unique art school on the internet. Don't miss the opportunity to become a part of our artistic community and elevate your talents with our unparalleled guidance and support by visiting paintingwithginger.com.